Casey Budd, the Astro Muse. This episode is about finding your purpose. This is one of my favorite topics. I love helping people find their purpose. I wrote an article about this for the Chopra Center. Well, it's really Chopra Global now. You can find it on www.chopra.com. That particular article is about tailoring your profession to your dosha, which is your Ayurvedic energy type. And it includes some of my tactics in general that I use in my work to help people find their purpose. And I'm also going to share some of those here, as well as a few different things that aren't in that article. And there's also different things in that article that aren't in this talk today, because I'm not going into doshas and Ayurveda today. I'm just going to stick to kind of spiritual and practical tips and exercises I use to help people and myself that I've used to help myself find my exact right fitting place within my work. I've always been somebody who's super interested in living a very authentic, intuitive life, and I've always wanted to express my passions in my work and do something that felt really aligned and really heart-centered and creative and intellectually stimulating and fun. So I've taken a very unique path within my career and within medicine. As you probably can realize, there's not too many psychiatrists who are also astrologers. There's a few, and I've met one other one, and I know of two others in addition to her. But I only know of four of us. There may be more. There's some that I've trained in my apprenticeship program that aren't quite to the professional level, but they're kind of casual students because they see how much I use it and how much it helps me in my work. So that's really fun. But yeah, one of the ways I use astrology within my psychiatry practice is to help validate people's careers and sort of point them in a direction that helps them focus on things they would naturally be good at or that are already natural skills. So I'm going to talk about astrology a little bit at the very end, and I may even do a separate talk, because I imagine this is going to get long, on how to use astrology to find your purpose. But I want to just do some general exercises that you don't need astrology for. So this is a kind of a 5-step exercise that I call the sweet spot that will help you hone in on where you might want to focus. Like, you basically want to do these 5 different parts of the exercise and then be thinking about the intersection point where there's some overlapping between the different branches of the exercise, and that's going to be your sweet spot, and that's probably where you're going to want to focus your life for the greatest fulfillment, enjoyment, and possibly a sort of accomplishment of your dharma, which is your spiritual life purpose or your kind of destiny work spiritually. So when we're doing our dharma, we feel a lot more fulfilled and easily fulfilled, and it just feels easy and natural. So I love to try to help people get there. And I'll explain a little bit why as we go, because I'll use myself a bit as an example. Okay, so the first part of the exercise, and so everybody pause this and get a journal or some paper if you don't have it, and a pen or a pencil, and get ready. I have my little owl book that I use for making my notes for this YouTube, and I've already done the exercise. So get what you need to do. What you need to do the exercise, and come back to this video when you have it. Okay, so the first exercise is called What I Love. This is the most fun and the most easy way to get into this little overall exercise. So write down what I love, and then leave a blank place for you to pause this video and fill in what you love. I want you to write down, just, make a list or write some paragraphs, or just, kind of pepper around on the page just some different things that you really love. It might be, you can be real general with it if you want to and put your friends, your family, your kids, whatever, or, most likely you might want to go ahead and cut to the chase a little bit and write down things that you think may be somewhat relatable to some kind of job or career. But I kind of do a little of both, because again, you can go back and kind of circle the things that seem like they're going to more fall into a sweet spot. So you can make it general. I made mine kind of general just for this current exercise. I wrote down surfing, nature, art, writing, teaching, inspiring people, exploring, travel, and collaborating with others. So there's a lot more things I like and love, but that's just what I wrote down today. So I encourage you to take a moment and write down what you love. Okay, so I'm expecting you're going to pause this video when you do that. And now that you're back, you've done that part. And I just want you to reflect a minute on what you love and ponder whether any of that is in your current work. And if it's not, there's a problem. So, to really be finding your purpose and your true dharma and what you're really meant to be doing, some part of it needs to be, exciting to you and fun and something that you really love genuinely. So this is a very important step one. Something in that list really needs to relate to your work. So keep that in mind. Step 2, part 2 of the exercise. What makes me feel good? So this is, you want to think about how you're feeling when you're doing different things. My list includes serving others and helping others, and again, collaborating with others, teaching others, inspiring others, elevating others, and health. Health makes me feel good. I like to feel good, healthy. Yoga's on my list. Yoga makes me feel good. Meditating. I like to feel good and healthy. Surfing makes me feel good. Anything in nature makes me feel good. So, some of these things might be the same as the number 1 group, and that's great. Some of these things might be slightly different. Like I said, the kind of helping others or teaching others, inspiring others. You might get some more specifics. And again, your list might be totally different. I'm not expecting everybody to be a holistic teacher that's doing this exercise. So your list might be, I like organizing, or I like helping people plan, or I like managing finances, or making investments. There could be a number of different things. You might like video games. There's a variety of different, just a huge, massive variety of different potential answers to these questions. So it's all about you and figuring out what does make you feel good. Do you have that part of you that likes working with others, or do you really enjoy working by yourself? Do you like supporting others? Do you like leading others? Do you like, what do you want to feel? What does feel good? What opens your heart? I knew I wanted to be a doctor when I was young, in part because I was interested in biology and science in like 7th grade. But also in high school, I found that I was doing some volunteering, and I found that it opened my heart. I felt this heart opening for kind of the first time ever when I was helping others and being of service. I have cancer rising in my astrology chart, which does like to, care for others and serve others in some way and nurture others. So I think that's why that opening happened for me in high school, and I followed it because it felt so good. I wanted to feel that love kind of pouring through myself as I helped somebody else. So there might be something like that for you, and it might be love, or it might be fun or excitement or intellectual challenge that really makes you feel good. So think about all of that and answer this question and pause until you're ready to continue. The third part is, what am I interested in intellectually? So I already gave a bit of a hint about one of my answers to this, which did help me find my path. But, think about what you liked in school, starting from even early times. Sorry, somebody's texting me. But think about early years in school. Did you like art? Did you like math? Did you like English? Did you like PE? Did you like music? Did you like reading? Writing. Think about if anything in school appealed to you, or outside of school. Again, did you love games? Did you love puzzles? What things appealed to you and stimulated you intellectually or not intellectually? Like, again, if you were more into sports or art or something like that, honor that. And that can be on this list. So, I put on my list psychology, astrology, energy in general interests me. Anything esoteric things interest me. Art, mysticism, literature, anthropology, music, and biology, and nature. So those things interest me, so I've always kind of gravitated towards kind of that line of study in high school and college and beyond. And even in my own personal reading, I usually read about those kinds of things. Okay, so just pause if you need to do this exercise. Okay, part 4. What comes easily to me? This is really important because your true path and your true purpose and your dharma is going to come easily to you. It might not be like you're a perfect master from day one, but it's a skill. It's kind of easier for you. It's a little more natural. You probably shouldn't be a mathematician if you weren't great at math. And you really probably don't want to be a doctor or a psychologist if you weren't great at biology or psychology. It's not, there's other things that surely you're a little bit better at. And not everybody's path involves some kind of higher education or intellectual pursuit. You might be better at cooking or, again, caring for others or playing with children or something like that. So you really do just have to think about what does come easily to me and spend some time writing this down, and again thinking about now as well as various different points in the past, and see if you can see a kind of continuation of, I was always kind of good at that, and maybe you didn't have a chance to explore it or prove it to yourself, but there were hints in your past about how you were kind of good at certain things that you may not have even realized. Like I said, you might not have even had an opportunity to test a certain skill in your past. So I'm going to pause for a minute and let you stop this. When you're ready to move on, I can tell you, just for consistency, that on my list I put writing, art, design of any kind, crafts, some sports, teaching, photography, groups, kind of talking to groups and organizing groups. I was always like president of this and that, and like to plan dances and all those kinds of things and parties when I was younger. Public speaking. I really like designing programs. Astrology. I was very good at astrology. That's why I became an astrologer. I just understood it really intuitively. And sensing energy. And psychology comes easily to me very naturally as well. Science, biology to some degree, but I still had to study quite a lot. I did make the highest grade in my biology class in college, though, general biology. So biology comes kind of easy to me, but I still had to study. Psychology, I barely had to study at all. I just totally understood it naturally. And astrology, I've studied, but it's fun as heck for me. It's not at all trouble, and it's just super fun and intriguing, and I also just get it really intuitively. So yeah, that's those things guided me, and I think they can guide you too if they haven't already. Okay, number 5. This is key. I circled this. This is very key. This is like the crux of the matter. What do I do, or what skill can I do? What am I good at that people also need, enjoy, and will pay for? So, finding the sweet spot is about something you love and something you're good at that people will also pay for, that people also want. People will either buy it as a product that you create or as a service that you offer, a job that you might do within a company whose services somebody might want. It has to be marketable, otherwise it's not your job. Your purpose doesn't necessarily have to be marketable. People's purposes sometimes can have to do with relationships or something within a family that you might do, or like your own psychological or spiritual growth can be part of your purpose. And again, this takes us to point 6, which has to do with astrology. So if you've been having trouble finding a job that you really love, it might be that your purpose has to do with some other aspect of life other than work. And I talk about this in the article, but not everybody's purpose, like their dharma, their soul purpose, has to do with work. And this is very useful for people to understand, so you can stop beating yourself up that you haven't found it. But still, many people do need to make a living. So it's useful to try to find some kind of work that at least kind of suits you and is going to be fulfilling. So if you either are early in your career and you're trying to find that, or you're later in your career and you're realizing you're unhappy and you need to make a change, then this exercise can be really, really useful for you. And you can then get an astrology reading if you want with someone in your area, or someone you like, or me if you want to. You can book that on my website. But it's useful to, if you need that extra validation, to have somebody look at your astrology chart and kind of say, yes, what you're thinking about is in line with what's in your chart that suggests would be your skills for your career and or for your life. But you really don't have to have your chart done to find your dharma, because you can use this exercise as well as kind of your intuition, and as well as signs from the universe that are kind of closing certain doors and pointing you in certain directions. I often tell my clients to just continuously be asking yourself, what is missing? What do I love? And what is missing about your work? You can do it about your life too, because it helps you orient in your life as well. But specifically regarding work, what is missing? Do I want to have more responsibility? Do I want to have more money? Do I want to have more of a certain kind of client or a certain kind of project? What do I love, and how do I get more of that kind of project? Because usually if you listen to those two things, what do I love and what is missing, that will help you kind of refine what you're currently doing, as well as think about what you might want to be doing instead if you need to change directions. So process all of that and make sure to answer question number 5. What do I do that people want? It really, you can't just necessarily do just what you love. Some people can, but they have to also really fit in to at least what will people pay for. If you have something you love that people will also pay for, then you got a winner. But sometimes you have to figure out how to translate it. You might love surfing, and what will people pay for? Well, you're going to have to make surfboards or teach surfing, and that may or may not be lucrative enough, depending on if you're owning the surf school or what. And there may be other skills that you have in addition to surfing, let's say for the example, that you also want to use that might be more unique to you. This is another maybe 5.5, or we could call it 6 in in the exercise, what do you do that's more unique to you that other people don't do? There are many, many surfers, but there are not many psychiatrist astrologers. So I tend to focus on psychiatry and astrology rather than surfing as my work, because that's unique to me. But I might venture off in a surf camp direction or something as like a one-time or occasional offering, blended in with other things like a health retreat or something like that. So there's a way to weave in a variety of different interests and passions into things that you do. So make sure to think about, what do I do uniquely that people need, that people want, that people will pay for? So, for me, I wrote down teaching, astrology, psychology or psychiatry, health and like medicine, health coaching, writing, groups, retreats, and art, because at some point I might get into selling my art and making prints and things, which I haven't. I've sold art before, but it's never been a big source of work for me, really. I mostly do it for fun. So really that last question is super crucial. So answer that and try to, you can go back to your list and circle the things that are in all of the different segments of the exercise and see where the overlap is, and see again what from sections 1 through 4 also fits in section 5, meaning you can make money from it, and again section 5.5, meaning you're kind of uniquely skilled in this area. If there is something that you feel that you are a little bit more, you don't have to be the only one. We're rarely the only one, but we might be one of less number of people who have a certain unique kind of take. And we really are extremely all unique, so you are the only one who does a certain combination of things, and the closer you can get to figuring out how to use that unique combination of things that you are, I think the closer you are to your true sweet spot and dharma and purpose. So I'm going to leave the astrology for a totally separate video, and just let this stand on its own. I hope that was helpful to some people. It certainly is fun and helpful to me, even every time I do it, even though I've done it tons of times. So I hope you all find fulfillment in your work. Now's a great time to be thinking about it with COVID being around, and a lot of people are out of work or changing work or looking for new work, and it's important to really be conscious about that and be thinking about, what do I really want to do? What am I really good at? And choose those jobs. And if you're starting your own business, really make it creative, make it unique, make it really your unique niche. And again, similarly, if you're looking for a job, really try to talk to any potential employer about your skills and your gifts, as well as what they need, and try to figure out a compromise so that you really can evolve from where you previously were to whatever is going to be next, and make sure it is going to be fun for you and highlighting some of your skills and gifts. Okay, well, I wish you all the best, and I enjoyed talking to you about this. Hope you enjoyed watching it. Aloha.